Summaries of the internal sense of Hosea. Chapter 1. The prophet represented the falsification of the word with the Jewish nation. That profane church will be destroyed when the Lord comes. No pity is possible, but the Lord will pity those who will be of his new church. When nothing of the church will any longer remain, then the new church will grow and will acknowledge the Lord. Hosea chapter 2. Exhortation to abstain from the falsifications of the word. Otherwise there will be no church, but it will be without goods and truths as before. They will become as before when they loved evil and falsity, but they will be withheld. They will return to God whom they worshipped at that time, and from whom they received good, not knowing that this was from the Lord. But because they still did not worship him, but another God, goods and truths will be vastated. Those who will be of the new church are to be purified by temptations and prepared, and a new church constituted of such will come into existence and will acknowledge the Lord. Then they will receive all things of heaven and the church. Hosea chapter 3. A new church to be established by the Lord. They will live for a long time without the truths and goods of the church, but they will become a church from the Lord when he comes, and will acknowledge him. Hosea chapter 4. There is in the church nothing but evil and falsity from the falsified word, and because nothing of the law and doctrine remains, the church has been destroyed. Because they have falsified the word, they are no longer able to understand truth, but will behold falsity. For this reason their worship will be from falsities. Will they not perish on this account? Likewise those in the spiritual church, these will go away into falsities. Hosea chapter 5. Those who represented the celestial things of the church, and those who represented its spiritual and intellectual things, falsified and adulterated the truths of the word. They cannot turn back, but all will perish. They no longer have any understanding of truth, but in place of truth they understand falsity. Nevertheless, there will be a new thing of the church. Hosea chapter 6. A new church will be established, which will acknowledge the Lord. It will understand all truth. As there are perversities in the former church, when the new church will be established. Hosea chapter 7. They have perverted all the truths of the word and of doctrine. They have perverted them by evil loves, and by the knowledges of the natural man. Therefore they cannot be led back, because they are in falsities. Hosea chapter 8. They have perverted the church. They have turned its goods and truths into evils and falsities. By reasonings from the natural man, they have put off everything of the church, and also everything of the worship of the church. Therefore they cannot but perish. Hosea chapter 9. They have falsified the truths of the church. Therefore the church has been destroyed, and they will be natural, abiding only in reasonings from the natural man. Consequently, there is no divine worship. All truth and good is turned into falsity and evil. They will perish on the day of judgment. The first of them were also such. They had no understanding of truth, so also their posterity, although instructed. The posterity of these cannot but become such. Hosea chapter 10. The church that was devastated in respect to truths has a worship similar to this one, and they say that they have truth. At heart they worship another God. They will reason against truths. They will be cast into hell where there is such evil. The evils of punishment come upon them, but in vain. They have been taught truths and goods, and admonished, and yet they persisted in falsities of evil. Their destruction in consequence on the day of judgment. Hosea chapter 11. That Israel, the Lord, was brought down into Egypt, means that they were instructed in the first principles of the church. They were there in natural desire and knowledge. They were instructed in cognitions and knowledges. When they have become spiritual, they will no longer be natural, since they will thus destroy truths and the understanding of them. But from their having been in knowledges, they will have intelligence from the Lord. The understanding of the word was falsified, although the word is the Lord's. Hosea chapter 12. Falsities grow by reasonings originating in the delights of the natural man. The Lord strove with the posterity of Jacob from their infancy. Exhortation to be converted and not falsify truths. The church gloried in its possession of the word, and on account of their representative worship, and they were continually guarded by the Lord, and yet they falsified and adulterated the word and the worship. Hosea chapter 13. From their self-intelligence they have perverted all divine worship, and hence will perish. Yet the Lord alone is God. When they became rich in knowledges from the word, they forsook the Lord by reason of their self-glorification. Hence their destruction, because there is no longer any truth of the church. The truth of the church has been interiorly destroyed. They are to be kept from destruction until all truth of the church has been destroyed. Those who have worshipped another god will perish. Chapter 14. Exhortation to be converted, because salvation comes from no other source. Thus they will be received into the church and instructed in its truths and goods. Falsities will be rejected, and in consequence there will be understanding from rational light.